At the death of the Duke in 1884, it was widely published that his remaining 6 children were ineligible as heirs, and the line declared extinct. House law and international law said they were fully eligible, but the media propaganda had won this war. From 1830 until 1873, there was a family feud, and the senior Duke Karl kept eligibility alive, even though some moved to America. The heirs were thought to be illegitimate, and the line was declared extinct by the English. These English kings then took over this part of Germany. Nevertheless, heirs of the true line are alive and well today. Under all laws and rights, as recognized in international law, the dukes can claim full title in the house. It was, and still is impossible in valid international law, to declare blood heirs of the Wolfenbuttle line ineligible or illegitimate. From house law at the very beginning, sons born to unknown mistresses became the senior princes in Brunswick. In 2004, the Lutheran Church and the Prince of Hanover publicly acknowledged Duke William had 6 children, but still wrongfully called them illegitimate. They still promote the lie that the law of 1831 banning heirs was a valid one. It remains impossible because the head duke not only did not sign the law banning children out of wedlock, but he formally rejected it. Even the French and Austrian governments backed him in his right as the only chief who could sign it. How could this impossibility happen? 2 Dukes of Brunswick were killed one after the other when driving Napoleon's armies out of Germany. In 1809, Duke Ferdinand died gloriously in battle at Jena. He held the rank of Commander-in-Chief of Prussia's combined military. His surviving son, Duke Frederick, became the senior duke. Napoleon had claimed the dukedom to be his brother's under the throne of Westphalia, but the senior Duke of Brunswick could not let Germany remain under French domination. Napoleon knew this. He even convinced the King of Prussia to try to kidnap the heir children when they were infants. Duke Frederick was raising a revolutionary force when all Germany gave up. The Black Brunswickers, Germany's Black Legion, was established to run Napoleon out. He was captured but escaped Napoleon's prison. He then returned to one of the principalities of Ols, now Poland, to raise an army. He then revived the family's knightly order of Totenkopf, Death's Head, and made the emblems to be the headgear of Germany's Black Legion. He sold lands to pay for the army's expenses. His army was successful in defeating Napoleon, but not before he died gloriously at Courtrai, Belgium. Another Brunswick hero had fallen as the chief commander of Germany's combined forces, as his ancestors have since the time of Henry the Lion. Dukes of Brunswick-Wolfenbüttel played important roles as heroes of Germany, commanders-in-chief for nearly 1,000 years. The rank General Field Marshal was a rank higher than the Kaiser. The children's mother had already died in child labor, so at the Duke's death, the young children were orphaned and taken advantage of. 8 years later, Duke Karl became the legal age to take the throne, according to many house laws, which were internationally recognized, but he was held back an extra year. Illegal laws were passed during that extra year. He tried to keep the peace, saying it was only Hanover's simple mistake, and vetoed those laws. Although jubilantly recognized by the general populace, the influential citizens directed a riot and burned down the palace. Various counts and barons, who had a much higher amount of power the last 8 years since the Duke died, were not about to give it all back easily. The king received Karl's petitions and let him have his majority at age 19. At age 26, he acted like any head duke should and formally rejected the illegal laws passed. He was merely standing up for his rights, which were unlawfully violated, standing against the powerful counts, barons, and king of England. But his own brother, with the British king at his side, kept him out by force of arms and arrested all those who stood with him. On March 10, 1831, the King of England claimed the throne was vacant. When the Kaiser of Austria heard of this illegal declaration, he immediately petitioned on May 30th, demanding the dukedom be released back to Karl. French courts protected the inheritance of Duke Karl in 1833 against Hanover and Duke Regent William. All nations recognized Karl as the rightful duke, but thought twice before going to war with England over it. In France, books 700 pages long were written in defense of Karl. But Hanover has continued to this day, operating as if it was approved. This is completely illegal in international law for the kings of England to meddle in the affairs of another nation. The ducal inheritance remains to the firstborn of the senior line of Wolfenbuttle, not Hanover. Even if all male heirs have died without sons, the throne, in accordance with the original laws of succession, passes to the female line until a firstborn male can again, in primogeniture rights, place the dukedom under himself. The dukes are honored all over Europe for the sacrifices they gave, standing up for law and order against Bolshevik communist-style revolutions. 1,000 years has proven there is a divine right to rule. Since the time of Henry the Lion, the dukes ruled nearly half today's Germany. Nothing in this world can hold back what God has ordained. It is still possible, under international and house law, for the heirs to reclaim the dukedom.